Welcome to the FAR Experience, where, in just 5 minutes, we take you on unforgettable experiences from all over the world. Every day, we bring you closer to cultures, flavors, adventures, and people, without even needing a passport. From the hidden alleys of India to the adventures of Disney World, the world is full of experiences, and we're here to tell them fast, fun, and full of wonder. This video is not sponsored, and everything you see and hear is from my own experience. If you have any questions or thoughts, drop them in the comments below. I love hearing from you. Hit that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and buckle up, because the FAR Experience starts now. There was a time when taking off on a Vistara flight meant more than just traveling from one city to another. It was about grace in the sky, a rare calm above the clouds, a symbol of how beautiful Indian aviation could be. But that time is now a memory, because Vistara, as we knew it, no longer exists. It was India's most loved full-service airline, born from the partnership between Tata Sons and Singapore Airlines, a blend of Indian warmth and Singaporean precision that redefined domestic flying. From its first flight in 2015, Vistara was known for making air travel feel special again, where service still mattered and passengers were treated like guests. But on November 12, 2024, Vistara officially merged with Air India, closing a remarkable chapter in Indian aviation history. This flight today is more than a journey, it's a farewell, a tribute to what once was. As I step into the terminal, the hum of travelers surrounds me. Bright lights shimmer off the glass walls and trolleys roll across polished floors. Today, I'm flying with Vistara one last time. In my previous videos, I took you through Indigo and Air India Express flights, and we spoke about the small things that made them unique. But Vistara is different. It always had a personality of its own, calm, organized, a little more refined. This journey will take me to Delhi, and from there I'll continue on to Uzbekistan. But this part of the trip, this flight holds a quiet significance. The check-in counters are buzzing with passengers, each carrying stories of their own. I walk up to the counter and collect my boarding pass. The staff smiles politely, though unfortunately no window seat this time. Still, there's a sense of warmth in how they greet me, something familiar that you only found with Vistara's crew. With my pass in hand, I head towards security, and the aroma of coffee mixes with the faint scent of jet fuel. It's that moment of excitement that comes before every flight, a sense of movement, of departure, of promise. As boarding begins, I can see the queue stretch across the gate area, everyone eager to get inside. The flight is full, no surprise there, because Vistara's popularity was unmatched in its final days. When my turn arrives, I step into the jet bridge, the hum of the engines growing louder, and that distinct cabin air greeting you even before you enter. Inside the cabin, I find my seat, unfortunately in the middle row, but the interiors immediately remind me why travelers once adored this airline's soft lighting, clean upholstery, sturdy leather seats, and a subtle color palette that makes everything feel premium yet peaceful. As I settle in, I look around. The seat comes with a phone holder neatly built into the tray table. There's a small brochure tucked inside the pocket next to the air sickness bag, the emergency instructions, and the glossy Vistara magazine filled with ads but still beautifully designed. I glance at the cabin crew moving gracefully down the aisle, their uniforms perfectly pressed, their smiles genuine. Even without a window seat, I can sense that calm, elegant atmosphere that Vistara always carried on board. I take a moment to notice the legroom. It's a bit tight but manageable. The seats feel solid, the craftsmanship precise, the Wi-Fi system flickers to life, and within seconds I'm connected to the onboard entertainment portal. It works flawlessly, something that didn't quite happen during my Air India Express journey, if you remember that video. Here, the music collection feels hand-picked, the movie choices balanced, and the interface intuitive. It's small, touches like these that used to set Vistara apart. I glance at the safety card again and think of how this very aircraft, an Airbus A320neo, is one of the most reliable and advanced models in its class. It feels new, it feels cared for. The build quality of everything around me is reassuring. Soon we begin to taxi down the runway. The captain's voice echoes through the cabin. calm and confident as always. The engines roar softly, and with a graceful lift, we're airborne, cutting through layers of white clouds. The seatbelt sign stays on, but the cabin soon settles into a peaceful rhythm. The crew begins their service, moving efficiently through the aisle. What surprises me is how even on this short 2-hour flight, Vistara still offers a complimentary meal, something few domestic airlines continue to do. When the tray arrives, I can smell the warmth of freshly baked bread and spiced chicken, a small sweet dish, a soft brownie rests beside it, and a chilled bottle of natural spring water completes the setup. The food is hot, genuinely tasty, comforting in the way only in-flight meals used to be. There's something special about eating warm food above the clouds. I take a bite and realize this is exactly what made people fall in love with Vistara. Attention to detail, speed of service, and the simple act of caring. I look up and see the flight attendants moving quickly but gracefully down the aisles, making sure everyone gets served before descent. They even offer tea and coffee later on, despite turbulence and a tight schedule. The aroma of hot coffee fills the cabin, blending with the faint hum of the engines. Moments like these make you appreciate how well trained and composed their crew always was. As I finish my meal, I glance again at the Vistara logo on the napkin. It feels bittersweet, knowing that after today, this name would fade from Indian skies, replaced by the familiar red of Air India. But what remains unforgettable is how Vistara raised the bar for Indian aviation. It showed that domestic travel could be elegant, that service could still matter, and that even short flights could feel memorable. I scan the QR code on the seat back to test the entertainment system. It opens instantly, revealing a world of Indian and international films. Smooth jazz plays in the background, and I can't help but smile, remembering how Air India Express struggled with its Wi-Fi connection. Just days ago, Vistara's system works flawlessly, and it feels symbolic of the reliability it once stood for. Outside the window, the sun begins to dip behind the clouds, painting streaks of orange and gold. Even without a window seat, I can sense the beauty through the soft glow filling the cabin. The captain announces descent, and the flight attendants begin their final checks. As we touch down, the wheels kiss the runway with barely a jolt. Applause doesn't break out, but there's a quiet shared comfort among passengers, that familiar feeling of a smooth Vistara landing. As I collect my belongings and step out of the aircraft, I take a final look back inside. The cabin lights still glowing softly, the crew still smiling. This flight began as a routine domestic journey, but somewhere between takeoff and landing it became a farewell. A goodbye to an airline that once redefined Indian skies. Vistara may no longer exist, but its spirit continues through every traveler who remembers what flying used to feel like, the warmth of its service, the calm of its cabins, the dignity of its brand. Even as Air India carries forward its legacy, the purple and gold of Vistara will remain etched in our memories. So that's my Vistara story, a flight that started as an experience and ended as an emotion, a journey not just through the clouds, but through time itself. Thank you for watching and being part of this farewell. Don't forget to subscribe and stay tuned, because next we head to Uzbekistan, a new adventure just waiting to begin. I remember my first flight with Vistara like it was yesterday. The date on my ticket was for a short hop from Delhi to Mumbai, a route I had flown many times before, but this time felt different from the moment I stepped on board. The cabin lights were a soft, calming shade of purple, not the harsh white I was used to. There was a gentle, soothing music playing softly in the background. A flight attendant greeted me with a genuine smile, her voice warm and welcoming. It was a small detail, but it changed everything. I settled into my seat, which felt surprisingly spacious and immaculately clean. Even in economy class, there was a sense of thoughtful design. The air in the cabin felt fresh. Vistara's success in its early years was built on a deliberate and consistent focus on quality, and the airline understood that to stand out in a crowded market, it had to excel where others cut corners. The staff were a huge part of this. From the check-in counter to the boarding gate and onto the plane, Every employee seemed genuinely invested in providing excellent service. They were meticulously trained not just in safety procedures, but in the art of hospitality. They spoke with politeness, listened with patience, and addressed passengers by name when possible. This human touch created a powerful bond of loyalty. The physical product was just as impressive as the people. Vistara's fleet was modern, clean, and well-maintained. The seats, even in the most basic class, offered better legroom and comfort than many competitors. The airline pioneered premium economy in India, bridging the gap without the full expense of business class. Cabins were designed to be soothing, with signature mood lighting and a clean, uncluttered aesthetic. This made flying feel more like a pleasant retreat. However, running a premium airline in a market as price-sensitive as India is an incredibly difficult task. The aviation industry is notoriously challenging, with razor-thin profit margins and immense operational costs. The price of jet fuel is volatile and can spike unexpectedly, dramatically increasing the cost of every single flight. Airplanes are enormously expensive assets, whether purchased outright or leased. Loyalty has limits in a price-driven market. An airline cannot survive on love alone. Great service needs a sustainable model. The heart must have a head for business. Customers are drawn to consistency and trust, something Vistara built, but market forces can shift direction overnight.